Hello, in this lecture we will take a look at Chapter 3, Data Modeling. So we have the types of business models, we have the business process models, the activity models we took a look at last time, and we are now going to be looking at the structure models here. So we got these structure models. We're going to describe the data and information structures inherent in a business process, then create a blueprint for the development of a relational database to support the collection, aggregation, and communication of process information. So we're going to map basically the information to build the database and then see how the database will relate to each other, this information. So we're going to facilitate the use of databases after they are implemented. Structure models purpose describe the entities or things in the domain of interest. We want to describe the relationships among those things. Then we want to specify how many instances of one entity can be related to another. Then we're going to identify the attributes or characteristics of the entities and relationships. So we're going to use the unified modeling language. Once again, we're trying to standardize the modeling language here. And we got the UML class diagram notation for structure models. So this is going to be the type of diagram that we will be using. Specializations for the UML maintained by the Object Management Group, a nonprofit consortium of computer industry members. UML also includes notations for several other types of diagrams, including several structure diagrams, behavior diagrams, and interaction diagrams. UML class diagram, so we have the building blocks. So the pieces of the graphs that we are going to be working with will be classes, which are separately identified collections of things about which the organization wants to collect and store data. So that's what we're going to store the data in classes. Associations depict the relationship between two classes, so how are the classes related or associated. And then the multiplicities describe the minimum and maximum number of times instances of one class can be associated with instances of another class. So the UML class diagram associations. So we have associations depicted the business relationships between the two classes. So we have a person and the automobile. We have the relationship between the auto and the service by the dealer. We've got the auto and it's licensed by the state. So this would be a pictorial classification showing the associations. So the UML class diagram multiplicities describe the minimum and maximum number of times instances in one class can be associated with instances in a. So here are the four areas that we could have. We have the indicator 0, 1, 0 or 1, 1, 1, 1 only. We have 0 to the star is 0 or more. And then we have 1 to more. So the 1 to more. So if we're talking about a relationship between a person and an auto, and we're thinking about the person on the left-hand side and maybe like a registration on the auto side, we know that each person owns a minimum of 0 and a maximum of many autos. So if we look at this side, a person could own 0 or they can own many autos. On the other hand, each auto is owned by a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 1 person. So if we look at the person side over here in relation to the autos, we know that each auto is owned by a minimum of 1 person and a maximum of 1 person. So the registration can only be in one individual's name on this side, represented by the 1 to 1. Putting the pattern together. So we got the business process pattern, generally looks like this. We have the resource, the event, and then the agent. If we look at this in terms of, and then of course we've got the classes here, and then the associations being the linkage between them. And then if we look at an example, here's a very simple business, for example. The Bear business employee is selling cookies, inventory, the cookies being inventory, to the lion being the customer. How does that fit the REA, which of course is the resource event agent pattern? So we have the inventory being the resource, the sales being the event that's going to happen, there's the association, and then the bear being the agent. We also in this transaction are going to have the cash, which is going to be associated with the cash receipt being the event, and then the lion in this case being the agent.